The Pioneer CDJs can do a lot of things, and chances are that not everyone knows what all the CDJs can do. So today I'm here to tell you 10 things that the CDJs can do that you probably didn't know. Let's jump right into it. What's good, you guys? My name is Deep and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I do a lot of DJing and tech related tutorials, tips and tricks to help you become a better DJ and to help you get better at using technology. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. The Pioneer CDJs are amazing and I've been using these CDJs for almost all my life. I've been lucky enough to be able to use Pioneer equipment throughout my DJing career, and there are a lot of things that I've learned maybe by accident or learned from a senior DJ or from my own research on the web. Knowing these things will not only help you in situations where your equipment doesn't respond as intended, but it will also help you in speeding up how you perform on the CDJs and how you use the CDJs. Alright guys, the first thing that I'm going to teach you today is how to perform an entire set using just one deck. Okay, now this is a situation where you're in a nightclub, you're performing and you realize that the play button on one of the players is not working. Okay, one way of doing that is obviously by using the hot cues. Okay, so the minute you press the hot cue, it starts playing, and that can be used as the play button. But because the play button is not working, chances are that the hot cue button is also not working. Most used buttons usually stop working. One way to definitely do that is by using the hot cues. Another way of doing it is by using something called as beat doubling. Okay, and that is a feature built into the CDJs. I think it is from the CDJ 2000 Nexus, not the older CDJ 2000 regular. It is also built into the Nexus 2, which is this one. Okay, I'm going to show you how to perform using just one deck. Imagine that this deck doesn't have the play button and it's not working. So what you're going to do is play a track here, send that track to this deck while performing, and keep changing the tracks here. I'm going to do this as fast as possible, and I'm going to show it to you exactly how it's done. Okay, so this play button is working, so you hit play and it's working. Now for this to go here, you have to use the sync button and long press on that. Okay, it's just by using one button you can send this track from here to here. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Long press on the sync button, and you can see that now this track has come to deck 1. Okay, now this is playing. Let's just say that this is playing. You go to the next track. Imagine that you have actually performed. This is the next track that you chose, right? Let's just say that you mixed into this. Now this is the next track that you played. Okay, now sending this back here. Just stop this track by using any other button and long press on the sync button, and that goes here. So again, the track is moved here. Choose your next track and then mix. Let's just say that you mixed this track as well. Again, stop this track, long press on the sync button, and that goes again to the first deck. So that's how you can use just one deck in the entire night to perform your DJ set. So don't worry if your play button doesn't work the next time you're in a nightclub. You can use this method. Of course, you can use the hot cue method as well, but for some reason, if the hot cues are also not working, it has happened with me that the hot cues are not responding the way they are supposed to for whatever reason. Either they've been used too much or they haven't been used at all. So there's some kind of residue and it's just not responding. So this is one way of saving your set and performing the entire night using just one deck. Alright, now that you guys know what the instant doubles button is, I'm going to show you a technique called as beat doubling, and there is an easy way to do that. First, I'm going to make you hear how beat doubling sounds. So I'm going to play a track here, mix it here, okay, and that is called beat doubling. So what I'm going to show you is how to do that. It's the same thing as using the instant doubles, but instead of just moving the track, what we're using that feature is to double the track instantly. And the minute the track moves from deck B to deck A, you need to move this out of time by one beat and then replay it. I'm going to do this again very slowly, and I will try to describe what I'm doing so you guys can learn and follow along. Okay, so this is how it's done. Instant doubles. Now both of these is in the same time, but we're going to move it out of time by one beat. Okay, so that's called instant doubling, and you saw how I did that. I played a track here, instantly doubled that, moved it out of the beat for one beat, and then bring it back together and use the crossfader to instantly double the sound. So the next thing that I'm going to teach you today is how to change the beat grid information of your track on the player itself, not by using the Rekordbox software. So the Rekordbox software usually does a very good job of analyzing your tracks as soon as you import it, but a lot of times the beat grid information is not accurate, so you will have to do that manually, and you can do that in the software. But when you're performing, and if you see that a track is actually not in the correct beat grid information or doesn't have the correct beat grid information, you can change that on the player itself, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you can see this track here, okay, now the red bar is supposed to be the first beat, which is actually this one, but the red bar is on the second beat. Okay, what you need to do is you need to bring the red bar, which is the first beat, to the first beat of the track, and the way to do that is by long pressing on the rotatory knob on the player. Okay, and that becomes a little bit more evident, and then you rotate it and bring it out, and you make it exactly on top of the beginning of the beat, and then you can also check the other four bars are in line, and then you press the center button when you're happy, and that will remain there. When you click back and you select the track again, you see that the red bar is on the first beat, and now your beat grid information is changed on the player itself without using the Rekordbox software. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to teach you today is how to move to a different section of the song while performing. So if you're playing a track, and let's just say for some reason you want to go to the ending of this track immediately. One way to do that obviously is by using the search button, and you can do that, right? But no, that you obviously can't do that when you're performing live, because everybody else can hear this. No, that's not the right way to do this. Okay, now there is another way of doing it without anyone else knowing, and that is by using the needle countdown function or the needle search function. I'm going to play a track and move to another section of the track while performing. I'll show you. Playing the track, using your finger, go to the section where you want to go, and that is the ending of this track, also called as the outro. Now that I am here, all I need to do is hit the play button. Did you see that? It actually moved to the ending of the track. We were at the beginning and now we are at the ending. Now you might want to do this if your track is too long and you want to skip a couple of phrases and move to the ending so that you can mix better. But one thing to remember is when you hit the play button, you also hit the play button again. I'll show you what happens if you don't press the play button twice. It's a little complicated, but if you understand it, it's going to be very helpful for you. I'm going to play it again. Go to another section, let's just say at the ending over here. The minute you press play, it'll start playing from there, but if you remove your finger, it'll stop. So you need to be a little bit more careful. What you need to do is hit the play button twice. Play the track. Let's just say that it's playing somewhere in between. You go to the point where you want to go, hit the play button and then play button again. And then you move the finger, it continues to play. And that actually helps DJs who want to skip to the ending of the track, without, you know, actually using the search button, because obviously you can't use the search button when you're performing. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to teach you is how to move within your track faster. Okay, now let's just say that you're at the beginning of the track and you want to go to probably somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle, to cue it or to know whether the track is good for you to perform. Okay, one way to do that is obviously when you hit the play button, you long press on the search bar and it'll take its own sweet time to get there. But what you can do instead is use the jog dial to speed up that process. Now moving to the center of the track is going to be at least twice as faster, if not even more. See, so you can use the jog dial to move inside of the track faster, and that will help you to get to your point or to get to the section that you want to play or hear faster. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to teach you is how to use the alphabet search option on the CDJs. Okay, now one way of searching on the CDJs is by long pressing on the browse bar, and that will open up the search window, or the second option is by clicking on the shortcut menu and then pressing on the search bar. Okay, and that is how the search window opens up. Now if you want to search by alphabet, there is actually an easier way. And sometimes if you don't want to type all of the spellings, you can actually use the alphabet search. So if you go to the certain playlist and then sort the playlist by alphabet, and then you can obviously go all the way down. See, now this playlist has about, I don't know, 1,000 odd tracks. Obviously if you want to go all the way down, you know, you just can't keep rotating the rotatory knob. What you can do is long press, okay, on the rotatory knob, and that will show up the alphabet on the screen. Now immediately you can go from A to B to C to D to E to F to G to H to I, or whatever. Okay, and that's how you can get to your track faster, by using the alphabet search. Alright, so for some reason if your rotatory knob stops working and you're not able to browse through your tracks, okay, there is another way of browsing through your tracks, and you can actually do that quite faster than using the rotatory knob, and that is by using the jog dial. Now obviously when you do this, you know, the playlist is not moving, but when you press on the track search button, long press and hold it rather, and then move your platter, you can actually see that the track number is changing, 42, 45, 47, 52. So that's how you can go all the way down or all the way back up, or wherever. Let's just say that you want to be in F or D or E or wherever. To get to your track faster, if your rotatory knob stops working while performing, or if it's just malfunctioning, you can actually use the jog dial on the player to get to that particular track faster. So the next thing that I'm going to teach you is how to change the color of your USB, your reference color for the USB on the player itself. You can actually do that on the software, but for some reason, if you forgot to do that, or if you didn't know how to do that, you can actually do that on the player itself. So right now my particular pen drive is in the yellowish orange color. Okay, now I want to change it to say green. Okay, so I click on the USB, go back, and then when it shows the USB, it is showing how many tracks it has, how many GB it is. That's when you press on the menu button and then go down and see, you can actually see the background color option. Okay, now right now, as I said, it's selected as orange. You can select any other color which is available here, from pink, red, orange, yellow, green, aqua, blue, purple. I said I wanted to use green, so I'm just gonna select green. And now those settings will be changed on your pen drive. Now every time you remove this particular pen drive and you plug it back in, you will see that the USB color will remain to be green. Now this obviously can be done on the Rekordbox software, but it's good to know that you can actually do it on the players, because why not? Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to teach you today is how to see the track information of deck 2 in deck 1 or deck 1 in deck 2. Basically the track information of the other decks that are connected to your console in the deck that you're currently performing. Now this is a situation when you're performing with another DJ back to back, okay, and another DJ is standing here and he's doing something on the players and he's performing a track. Now for some reason you want to see the track information of the track that is currently playing. Maybe you just want to see the BPM, or you want to see the key of the track. Now you don't have to ask him to, bro, can you move? You don't have to disturb him. You can do that on your player. You can do that by pressing the info button, okay, and then long press it and you can actually select the second player. Okay, now this is a situation where two players are connected, so only two players will be shown. Click on the, or tap rather, touch screen, tap on the second player, and you can see what track is being played here, what is the key, what is the BPM. You can see all of that in the deck that you're performing. Now this particular feature is helpful when there are 4 decks and if you're performing in a festival and you cannot cross the DJ to go to the other side because your headphones are connected and all those other things. A lot of things that are involved when you're performing. You just want to be in your comfort zone, and you want to possibly know the track information on your own deck. This is how you do that. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to teach you today is how to create playlists on the player itself without using Rekordbox. Okay, now there is a way to create playlists on the player using the tag list feature. Okay, I actually spoke about this in one of my earlier videos, but I thought I'll give you a bit more examples of how you can use this feature. Now let's just say that this is how I have used it in the past. I've traveled to a different country to perform for a destination wedding for one of my clients. Now she has given me a list of 20 tracks. Now what I want to do is I want to create a playlist of those 20-30 tracks, because I know that those tracks are the client's favorite tracks. Now obviously she will give it to me in a WhatsApp message, or she will give it to me in a piece of paper. I can actually hold on to that piece of paper, or I can obviously go back to that phone and open the chat and search for the message that she sent and 1,000 other messages. So obviously that's a little bit tricky. So what you can do is actually create a playlist on the player while performing. Let's just say that she says, "Can you please play me Ante?" Then you search for the track, okay, and then you press the tag button on the player and you add it to the tag list, and you do that for all the other 20 tracks. Now when you open the tag list, all your tracks that you selected or tagged will be viewed or listed in the tag list option. Now when you're here, you know that you want to create a playlist. What you can do is click on the menu button and then go to the tag list menu and then click on the create playlist option. The minute you press create playlist, it'll ask you if you want to create the playlist. You click OK, and that playlist will be created. It'll say complete new playlist saved. Okay, and that's when you can go back and you will see that that playlist is added. Now I'm going to play this for this client for 3 days, because I'm there for a 3-day destination wedding, and I know that these people will ask me for these tracks again and again. So it's easier for me to just create a playlist while performing, because I had the free time, and make sure that I don't miss out on their favorite tracks because I'm booked for a private party. So those were the 10 things that the CDJs can do, and not a lot of DJs know that. Time for you guys to jump into the comment section below and tell me which one of these 10 tricks you guys already knew. And if you guys didn't know, what is your favorite tip that you guys learned today? Please comment in the comment section below. I read all the comments. It'll be amazing to see how many of you guys actually knew about these 10 tricks. And guess what guys, this is just the part 1 of this video. There will be a continuation to this video in which I show a lot more tricks, tips and things that you can do on the CDJs which are not very popular, but learning these things will definitely help you in performing better on the CDJs. So watch out for that video in the future. Also, don't forget to subscribe. That's about it guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and you guys learned something new today. If you guys did, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that like button and that bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video. That's been it. My name is Deep and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy to help.